men's basketball team had their winning streak snapped in last night's contest against the Georgia Bulldogs, 90-77. Ospreys head coach Driscoll talked post-game on the pressure and physicality the Dogs put on them.
Tonight, I thought they came at us, uberly high level of aggression, physicality. I thought at times we didn't match it, tried to come back a couple times, they put it back on us. Came back out in the second half, they put it on us pretty good. And so didn't have a great outing from several guys, and it becomes accumulative when you have so many guys and you don't play up to the level or the standard that they've been playing. Sometimes that can affect you in a lot of different ways as well. The fact that we had the toughness to come back, the fact that we had the resiliency to come back, that's something that's very encouraging.
Ospreys get a few days of rest before hosting UNC on November 18th. It's 79 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
10XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention. Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
And then he couldn't fire his glutes later.
Matt Hayes.
I'm not running over the Barnett Tower and heaving myself off.
And Leon Searcy.
Now, you come across that middle, you better have some meat on your bone.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
You know, the College Football Playoff Committee is saying something to that effect. How do you like me now? Because they're in the power chair, all of them together. And the College Football Playoff Committee released its second week of rankings, and we got plenty to critique, get into, debate, all of that stuff, especially for all of you college football fans. We would love for you to definitely hang out with us this afternoon. You can come on the stream on YouTube. If you're driving around, just listen to us. If you're working out, just make sure you punch in and give us some of those college football thoughts, because we're talking about a group of 12 that are going to compete for this national championship, and we're getting closer and closer to seeing what it's going to look like. Another elimination Saturday, you might say, coming up on Saturday. So as we take a look at this, Miami didn't get dinged as much as I thought they might, Leon. When we all did our XLP to the CFP, you were –
I was hard on them.
Yeah.
I kicked them out.
And I kicked him to, what did I kick him to, 12?
Yeah.
I think Matt kept him as far as the best of the ACC. But that's just one of the many things that came out last night. Anyway, they still have a chance to control their own destiny.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the committee for not dropping us as far as they did. All right. It's just a blip on the radar. Because when I was watching it last night, I said, oh, boy, they're going to have us out of it, whatever. Listen, unforeseen loss to Georgia Tech this late in the season where essentially Miami did not play well, especially stopping the run, especially when they had 5 plays that they ran. So when I saw that they had Miami at 9 and had them eventually winning the ACC championship, still at 4, I ain't going to lie, I was happy. I really was. I'm not going to lie. I was glad to see Miami at number 4. I'm going to tell you who got hosed. Bulldog fans. This is 2 years in a row. Now, we still got a long season to go, but last year, 1-6. This year, 3-12. That's crazy. That's crazy. For a team that has the number 1 schedule in college football. All those teams.
They did lose by 18.
They did lose by 18, but I tell you what, 95% of those guys that were in front of them.
It was their second loss.
If they had that schedule, they'd have 4 losses.
I completely agree with you. It's not even a question. I mean, if Indiana plays Alabama's schedule, maybe 1-5, and I don't in the league, and I don't think I'm not so quick to give them that Vandy game at Vandy. That'd be a hell of a game. Right?
You never know.
Yes.
You never know what he can do.
Look, this is where we are right now. This is the system. And I told you guys, we were talking earlier in the production meeting, I said, they've almost boxed themselves in with Indiana, the playoff committee, because they're at 5 now. And all Indiana really needs to do is stay close. Not even stay close. Just don't get blown out by Ohio State next week. Don't lose like 38-10.
Right.
If they lose like 38-17, they are not dropping out. Yeah. They will stay in. They'll be 11-1, and they'll have played no one, and they'll be in the playoffs.
Say that again. 38-17, which
I think if they lose like
significant. That's a three-score
loss. Yeah, I think they're in.
And you're going to tell me that they're
not going to drop them from 5 to out. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's just.
I know it is, but I think that's my point. They've boxed themselves in. Here's another thing too. You're looking at you're looking at right now. It's just one situation for them right now.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
There's still another week to go. They could move higher. Now again, it's all about the seed. I get all of that, but they're ranked high like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's because the committee believes in them. That's what the committee's telling you. They're telling you we believe in Indiana. They have played no one, and we'll go over their schedule. When I say no one, I mean no one.
Is it that they believe in them or they are a Disney film?
They're only, Leon, believe it or not, it's a little bit of that. They're the only team they play with a winning record. The only team is Nebraska at 5-4. All right?
Yeah, and by the way,
it's embarrassing is what it is, all right? So I get it. You can only play your schedule, but that doesn't mean you get rewarded for it, okay? That doesn't mean you get rewarded for it because you've missed Oregon. You've missed Penn State, I guess. But Penn State really has played no one either. Neither has Texas. We can go down the list of teams that haven't played anybody that are rated high in that.
Even teams in the 64 bracket with college basketball, they have Cinderellas. Is this our Cinderella?
I think what it is I think it's everybody loves the playoff that it's 12 teams now. Number one. Number two, I think it's everybody's tired of Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Clemson, Ohio State. They're tired of it. So when you get somebody new in, then they embrace it like grim death, man. No matter what. And the fact that Indiana's unbeaten, the fact that they're just blowing people away in these bad games, I think people are thinking, oh, yeah, this Indiana team can play with anybody. No, they can't.
All right, so here's the thing. If we have a bunch of teams that have lousy strength of schedule rankings, then they all kind of come back to
then
the
what
pack.
do you do? Right, yeah.
So you can't say, hey, that team hasn't played anybody, and that team also hasn't played anybody. Well, then all of a sudden they're all in a bigger pile. So I gave you guys these numbers yesterday, and I'm just going to try and at least find a couple of them here real quick. Texas, their loss is to
They played one game.
Yeah, number 11 Georgia.
One game of significance and got annihilated.
So Georgia beat their fanny, okay? Bevo was even embarrassed after that one.
Texas is number 3 in the nation right now.
Their strength of schedule is 55th. So it 100% to your point. You know who they've beaten? They've beaten Michigan and Vandy. Those are their two quality wins, okay? Beaten Diego.
Michigan's 5-5.
Yeah. And
Vandy's 6-4.
And a Harbaugh-less Michigan Wolverine team that ain't the same. Okay, so they're 55th in strength of schedule.
Do Penn State now.
Hang on. Just let me grab the ones that I've got. Okay. Tennessee is 8-1, and I'm looking at the teams that basically are a little further down, 35th in their strength of schedule. They have obviously a nice win over number 9 Alabama right now, but then they also lost to Arkansas.
Well, let me ask you this question, Joe. You too, Matt. How did the SEC let Texas get away with this? How did they?
They didn't let them get away with it. They kind of gave it to them.
How did they put Georgia through the buzzsaw schedule that they went through,
right,
and then let them tip through the tulips with Texas?
You know, it's funny. I think somebody wrote a story about that a couple weeks ago in USA Today where the SEC coaches were telling me they are not happy about it. The SEC ADs are not happy about it, how Texas basically was gifted this schedule this year. Not only this year, the schedule is the same next year.
Oh,
There's no different. They just flop. Well, who you played on the road, you play at home next year.
Yeah, so a big
There's no difference.
Greg Sankey, welcome to the SEC Kiss. Meanwhile,
now the SEC will say, well, Oklahoma's in a down year.
Right.
Oklahoma should have been a tough game, and they'll say Florida's in a down cycle. Florida should be a tough game. But Florida's had Billy Napier for 3 years now, right, Joe?
They were aware when they made that schedule.
They were aware when they made that schedule. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah. All right, so here are a few other ones, okay? So right now, we just mentioned Texas is 54th with their strength of schedule. Oregon is 45th. So you can easily poke holes in that one as well. What is it? 4 of the top 5 right now are Big Ten teams. So they're not dissing them for their strength of schedule. So anyway, Oregon is 45th. Penn State is 28th.
Oregon did beat Ohio State. All right,
they did at home. And by the way, that was a close football
Oregon
game.
did beat Boise State. They've beaten 2 of the top 12 teams in the poll now.
Yeah, but at the same time, you still have to look and recognize the total strength of schedule. And they're getting credit for the teams that they beat, and they haven't lost anything yet. So that's why they are at the top. They don't have to apologize to anybody for anything right now. But Indiana's is 103rd. And that's the thing that's getting them.
Let me give you that schedule. You ready?
Yeah, it's just
an
awful schedule.
Here we go. FIU could be the worst FBS team in the country. Okay.
With apologies to Leon, who used to coach there.
Yes, sorry, bro.
No problem.
FCS Western Illinois. Western Illinois, which, oh, by the way, is 3-7 this year.
Yeah.
The Lumberjacks.
Yeah. The fighting Lumberjacks.
UCLA, horrific team this year.
Coming back a little bit right now, but yes.
They're still 4-5, I think, okay?
Yeah.
Charlotte, woof.
Yeah.
Maryland, losing record. Northwestern, losing record. Nebraska, 5-4. Washington, 500 record. Michigan State, losing record. Michigan, 500 record.
Yeah, that's the Big Ten, baby.
And then Ohio State, and then Purdue, which is battling FIU for the worst team in FBS right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, that's the so the Big Ten is dealing with it just as much as anybody else is. So Indiana has a terrible schedule. They're out of conference is what really pulls them down. You have Boise State, who has a 59th strength of schedule ranking, and it's because they're on the outside. They're a group of 5 trying to play their way in. Tennessee's schedule is 33rd. BYU's is 61st. Notre Dame is 75th. Miami's is 46th. Let's see here, one other one. And we mentioned it earlier. Georgia's is number 1. And so if Georgia wants to, basically lay claim to still having an argument to be among the first 12 teams to play for a college football championship, it's the schedule that they've had and the close games that they've been in.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't close this past Saturday. Let's make that clear.
No, it was close. No, but listen, Georgia wins, they in.
Yeah.
Bottom line, they win these next 2 games. They're absolutely in. I was just surprised to see them on the outside looking in when the committee came up with the brackets.
Right.
I mean, they suffered a devastating loss to Ole Miss. Now Ole Miss whooped them, both sides of the ball.
Had a 7-0 lead,
Yes.
and then lost 28-3 after that.
Absolutely. So, but I was just a little surprised that Georgia was on the outside looking in.
You know what? I think if Georgia wins, they're in. I think. But they're not going to put more than 4 SEC teams in there. Okay? That's just not going to happen. And let's say, Texas and Texas A&M, let's say A&M beats Texas, but after all the tie breaks, it's Texas and Texas A&M again in the SEC championship game. All right?
Very possible.
So you're not – the one that loses that game is not going to be knocked out of the playoff. There's no way.
You wouldn't think.
All right, so that's 2 spots right there. So then there's 2 left. Alabama's in over Georgia because Alabama beat Georgia.
And that's why some are stumping for the idea of not being in that game to not have to suffer another L, because potentially the loser could get kicked to the curb because the other one would have a better win percentage if you want to lay it out like that.
Is that where we are now?
Yeah.
You're trying to stay out the conference championship to get
trying to avoid it. Yeah. All right, so here's how it would be if it played out right now. With the latest college football playoff rankings, Boise State would face Ohio State. Matt would pick the fighting Ashton Genties to win that game.
Wait, who's playing who? Say it again.
Boise, Ohio State.
I'm not picking Ashton Genties.
Okay.
I like Ashton Genties. They're not. Boise State's not beating
I was checking Buckeye.
Yeah, Buckeye.
All right,
I think if it's someone else, like if it's Texas at 5.
But I'm just saying right now.
Yeah, then it's a
right
little
now,
different.
Boise, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Tennessee. Pretty good game.
If Nico's healthy, Vols.
Yeah, pretty good game.
Close. Should be a good game. Yeah.
Ole Miss, Penn State.
Also good
Ole
game.
Miss.
Yeah.
Is that an Ole Miss? That would be at Penn State?
Yeah, that would be at. You have to go up there. I don't know whether they're allowed
That's
to have
the best part is we're going to get some snow games.
Yeah, I don't know whether this is the one unique
December
wrinkle.
20.
Yeah, this is the unique wrinkle to this is that you're going to have environments in December that you've never had. Obviously, there are more games that you're playing.
Imagine Ole Miss playing in a whiteout and a blizzard at Penn State.
Exactly. You bring that action up there. And so Penn State could be hosting that game. Tennessee would be hosting Notre Dame. Ohio State would be hosting Boise State. And Indiana, again, right now, we'll find out whether they stay alive. But right now, Indiana would host Alabama.
Oh, my God, I would love to see that.
Okay.
I would love to see Alabama go in there. I don't care if it's 10 degrees.
That's
and just
the way,
absolutely annihilate them.
Yeah, that's how it would sit right now. And then the others would wait. Miami would wait to see, it looks like, the winner of Boise, Ohio State. Oregon will wait to see the winner of Notre Dame, Tennessee. BYU meeting the winner of Ole Miss, Penn State. And then the Longhorns could potentially get a matchup with Alabama, maybe having not faced them.
Let me just be very clear. I'm not against Indiana.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to have them. I think it'd be great to have them in the playoff. Not as the 5 seed.
Yeah.
Okay? I would actually probably put them behind Boise State. They they should probably be at the 12 spot.
Yeah,
all right.
And that's kind of how we viewed this thing, is that you're not just we can't just say the group of 5 team is locked.
And that's if they play Ohio State close.
Yeah, right.
Like if they get blown out 41-10, they should not be in the playoffs.
Well, listen, what if they beat Ohio State?
Well, then then they're going to the Big Ten championship game. Then they could beat Oregon, and they can be number 1.
Yeah. And
How about
by the
that?
way,
Wow.
they've had
Talk
two,
about must-see TV.
I believe they've had 2 titles in their history, and the last one was 7 decades ago, something in that neighborhood.
Plus, I love Signetti. He's awesome.
So we'll, I do love
fantastic.
it. All right, so we'll stay on this. You guys jump in. We got to get to the Trevor talk. Not playing this weekend against the Lions. Let's jump on that a little bit later on. But this is CFP right now. So you guys hit a 641-1010. Text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Jump in the YouTube chat. Who got hosed? Who's in the driver's seat? What do you like? What do you not like about it? Definitely let us know. It is XL Primetime Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. Beautiful day. You can go out there. You can find out about their membership opportunities. We're talking you pay your initiation fee, you get a great deal, and you also get a $1,000 discount, $500 in Pro Shop credit, all sorts of incentives. So make sure you check out the Golf Club of Southampton. We'll be bragging on them all day long right here on XLP.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. It's the play that turned hope into victory.
Plenty of time goes downfield, and he's got it complete.
Performance Painting presents the high-performance play of the game.
He is a force to be reckoned with. He's been doing it a long time.
On 1010XL, prepare, protect, preserve.
On time and on budget service. That is a dream for most people. Some of them consider it a pipe dream, but no, when it comes to plumbing and pipes, you need to count on a company that can deliver on that promise. On time, on budget, and 24/7 they're available. I'm talking about Roland Reese Plumbing. When you got a leak and can't wait a week, you need that type of team working for you. And we're talking anything, full service plumbing, drain cleaning, small leaks, major issues, whatever it might be, and they take pride in their work. Even free estimates over the phone. You can count on that from a local company that's been here for over a quarter century. Log on, plumbingjacksonville.com, and just remember, trust the pros where quality and experience count. Roland Reese Plumbing.
1 second left. Packers are down by 6 at the goal line. Your defense is the only thing stopping them from scoring. Is your team prepared? Double Check Cybersecurity has your back. With an AI-powered defense, start your 14-day trial at doublecheck.com.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's Risk-Free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
Joe C. for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. There's nothing like the ambiance of a custom-built fireplace. The team at CSS can design and install the perfect setup, including wood, gas, and electric models, whether you want the elegance of an indoor fireplace or the warmth of an outdoor fire pit. You dream it, they build it. Visit their showroom or online at cssfireplaces.com.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
I've known Glenn Cohen for a long time as a friend and a lawyer. Persistent and fair, Glenn and his firm have represented clients from North Florida and South Georgia for over 40 years in all kinds of personal injury cases. If I had such a case, call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen, and Sullivan.
This is David with Royal Pest Services. Join us Friday, November 15th from 12 to 2 with Helmets and Heels at Tony D's for our customer appreciation.
And there'll be free slices for you guys.
Tony, you've been down here long enough. It's y'all.
When they were little, the other girls played with dolls.
Aww.
They played with footballs.
Who's that?
Yes, it's us.
Helmets and heels.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
Some girls have all the fun.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Lauren Brooks for Big Chief Tire. Right now, Big Chief is offering 6-month financing with their CFNA card, plus $50 off your first purchase. With no interest for 6 months, it's the perfect time to take care of your vehicle's needs, whether that's new tires, brakes, or other services. Their skilled technicians are here to help get you back on the road safely and affordably. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to apply and take advantage of this great deal. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rollin'.
Did you know you can charge the all-new Honda Electric Prologue in the same receptacle as your phone? You don't need these special charging stations at your home. Simply plug in your Honda or your phone. See your local Honda dealer now. We're electrified.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Bank in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the New Durban location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
So, Ammon, when was the last time that you cleaned your air ducts?
Dad, I manage the air duct cleaning at Zero Res. Trust me, my ducts are cleaner than the plates after Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, I hope so, but it's not just you I'm thinking of. Everyone in Jacksonville should get their air ducts cleaned before the holidays.
You're right. Even though we don't blast the heat like up north, we still trap dust and allergens when the windows stay shut. All that gunk just recirculates through your home and makes your air quality worse.
So you're saying Zero Res air duct cleaning keeps my air fresh and ready for my holiday guests?
Exactly. Clean ducts means cleaner air, just in time for Thanksgiving. Plus, we've got a November special running right now. Call Zero Res today and we'll give you $50 off. No more dust, just fresh, clean air for you and your family this holiday season.
Sounds good, son. Now, how about that family discount?
We'll see, Dad.
Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com or call now. Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
It is XL Primetime, 24 minutes after the 2 o'clock hour. Joe C., Hall of Famer, Leon Searcy from the Miami Hurricanes, Matty Hayes. Check out his stuff at USA Today Sports. RJ cranking it out today, and you can find us on YouTube. All you got to do is stream the show or just hang out with us however you pick it up. I am loving those that are picking up on some of the CFP conversation, hitting the text line. One of them, they did say, hey, I thought it was the Leathernecks, not Lumberjacks for Western Illinois. I like Leathernecks.
Still 3-7. Who cares?
Yeah, that's a pretty good
No
name.
offense. I'm sure the guy probably graduated from Western Illinois.
Don't be taking a shot at it. You know, listen, I just like the fact that he did
No mercy,
chime in.
bro. No mercy.
Yeah. And then the other one,
if they were 7-3 or 8-2, I'd have got the name right.
Yeah. The other one said, say what you want about Western Illinois. They still got a better record than the Jags. We cannot argue with that.
He's
that's
right
for
about
sure.
that. All right.
We have got plenty of SEC Homer comments on it, which is fine. But look, if you look at the top of the rankings right now, it's Big Ten homerism that's taken place with all the love that they put for the top 5 spots to the Big Ten. High Tide says, I'm all for playing Indiana in the playoff. And then another one accused me of being a Gator homer for knocking Miami out. I kept them 12 because they're still one of the more dynamic and exciting offensive teams.
Yeah, I'm the one that kicked them out.
Yeah.
And I went there.
They just
exactly.
You're a Hurricane
I was
Hall of
hard on
Famer.
them, absolutely.
And so I just look at them like they have given up too many points. 5 ACC games they played.
Unranked teams, 28 points or more.
4 touchdowns or more.
That wasn't significant to me until last week.
Yeah.
Because the Cam Ward magic wore off.
Exactly.
And I'm looking at this defense that just gave up just 271 yards against Georgia Tech. Come on now. This time in November, you're supposed to be playing your best football.
You better believe it. And if you look, Cam Ward can't basically pull you out of every defensive hole that you find yourself in. He's doing some amazing things. This is still what you would categorize as some wow numbers. He has nearly 3,500 yards, 32 touchdowns. Okay, he is balling. But go back to what you just said. If they have a close 7-point win over Louisville, but give up 45 points, that's a problem.
It is.
And if you take a look at what they've done, Wake Forest, Syracuse, and a conference title game is what they have left. They need to make up for some of these games.
They've got to elevate. They've got to start quicker. I mean, they got to start faster. I mean, this second half comeback stuff. Hey, listen, I can appreciate you making the adjustments coming down in the second half, but how about, you know what? How about start off with a 21-0 lead? It's illegal. You know, it's legal to start off with a 14 to 21 point lead instead of having to come back from 21 to 28 down every week in the second half.
And think of how high scoring they were. They were held to 23 points. And that's a team that had just lost back-to-back games in Georgia Tech. So that was a season-low 23 points.
But they got out-coached.
Yeah.
They absolutely got out-coached on both sides.
It's all right, bro. Every championship team has that one game where they're a little shaky.
It's probably good that they have a bye week.
And that they got it earlier before it meant more, right?
True, facts. Yeah. They got to win out. Basically,
got to beat SMU. That's the key.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun game because I've watched SMU. They can score points.
Yeah, Kevin Jennings
first one to 60,
and it's your old OC.
Oh yeah,
coming back at you with Brett Lashley.
I remember.
That's JJ's boy. That's who JJ wanted to be coach.
I know he did. Yeah,
he's fun to watch. I like his personality too. He's one of those guys that I do think recruits gravitate to. That's for sure. All right, so when you're looking at it, we have mentioned this before. 4 teams for the last decade, since 2014, played for the Natty. And there have been some sizable blowouts in the semifinal games. There's even been sizable blowouts in the championship game, including TCU suffering the worst loss ever, largest margin of victory in a national championship game. You look at these matchups, Matt, are we going to see great game? Well, I know we have the potential to see great games, but are we also going to see our share of blowouts?
You could see blowouts, but I also think there's more to it now. And I keep saying this over and over, and this is going to be the foundation of this playoff. You got to win you got to play 16 games to win this thing, or 17. Like if you got to play a first round game, you're going to have to play 7. You potentially could play 17 games.
Right. If you're in a conference championship.
If you're in a conference championship game and you lose, you could play 17 games. That's a lot of games. It's going to be a slog to get to that thing. Who knows? I mean, Nico Iamaleava is in concussion protocol right now from last week when he got a weird hit. He got hit off balance, landed wrong on the ground, head banged against the ground. He's in concussion protocol. He may not play this week. What if you're in the middle of a run and Jalen Milroe gets a concussion?
Yeah,
and he can't play. Yeah. That's. I guess the big thing is there's more games for things like that to happen. There's more games for the unexpected and the unthinkable to happen.
I'm sure they're making time for these kids to do finals and all that kind of stuff.
Of course they are.
No, they're not. Stop it, Matt Hayes. They'll care less about the grades and finals. That's why they need to go ahead with the format and pay for play.
The FCS, when they have a 24-team tournament, do you think they don't get time for school and everything.
Well, they probably put more academic.
They still graduate doctors and attorneys.
Yeah.
And,
but
they put
sports
more,
writers.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to
They put more academic demands on them.
Yeah.
These they
Come
haven't.
on,
you know what they
You
have?
guys don't give these guys
Don't
enough
give them
credit,
time.
You know what they have? They have an AI that walks into that classroom for them. Okay?
You guys don't give these guys enough credit. There are certainly guys that don't go to class. There are a majority of those guys go to class.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you created more ball where in a format you're supposed to be going to class, but in
You're
the back of
more
those
money. Don't worry, it's coming.
I know that's what I'm saying. In the back of their minds, what's more important? Winning this game this week. Moving on. You know that?
Yeah. The stakes have grown so mightily. Before they encouraged them to prepare as opposed to maybe paperwork. Now they're really going to say, prepare.
Let me tell you what's
and
really
the
grown
tutors
mightily.
will be right there with you to make sure that you check off everything you need to do.
Right. But let me tell you what's grown more mightily, and this is something that's really no one's really thought about. Because these guys now have their ability to earn off their name, image, and likeness, and because next year they'll be getting paid for play, now everybody's going to rip them. It used to be, hey, you can't rip a college kid.
Oh, yeah.
He's just an amateur. That's all. You can't take a shot at him. Now they're fair game.
They're getting booed.
That's
now,
what.
Like they haven't
believe
been
me,
before.
and these guys all open their phones, man, and they see that stuff. So yeah, it's a lot different now, man.
Got an issue?
I know. I understand. You got issue. Get your tissue. I get it. But there's a lot of young dudes that can't handle that. That's a lot of pressure, man.
Well, remember, Bo Nix said it. By the way, Bo Nix is looking pretty good in an NFL uniform right now. Got to give him credit because they're the last playoff team right now with a 5-5 record. But he said the SEC.
He had to get out of it.
He had to get out because of the
negativity was just
the treatment, the
eating
pressure,
him alive, Jerry.
Everything.
Yeah.
And Duck Bo, so much better than War Eagle Bo. There's no question about that. All right, a couple more real quick. BYU only has one top 25 victory. So that's also going to hurt them. They're one of the teams that's trying to step in, represent the Big 12. We talk about which of these Power 4 conferences are going to get an extra number of teams and those that are going to get reduced down to one. Miami may be the one, or SMU may be the one for the ACC. Clemson can still say they still have it in front of them as far as controlling their destiny. They don't. But the Big 12, if Colorado keeps cooking, they might have a chance to knock on the door. But BYU only has one top 25, and that was that big win against Kansas State all the way back in September, and they just haven't had enough. They've got a softer schedule. And so that's the thing that some of these teams are fighting against as far as trying to figure out who's going to go where. And the Penn States of the world, they're getting hammered for not winning that most important game on their schedule, even though they're still up there among the top 5 in the college football playoff rankings for now.
I guess I can partly understand the committee, but I think they overcorrected because the whole idea is, all right, clearly the SEC teams are eating each other alive. Clearly, Penn State and Indiana haven't played anyone. I throw Texas in there too. But what are you going to do? You're going to put the SEC teams 1-5?
Right. It's like one of the texters said.
But they've overcorrected, and now there's 4 Big Ten teams in the top 5, which is absurd.
Exactly. Where, we are SEC homers, at least for the most part, around here. But it's like the texter says, Texas can only play their schedule. Well, they got gifted a schedule, and they're taking advantage of it. They had the one big opportunity.
I mean, you could say they can only play their schedule, but they got annihilated in the one game that meant something.
They had the one big opportunity to stiff-arm everybody, and they got stiff-armed in that
God
game.
Just destroyed is what they got.
All right, we'll keep it going. We got to get to the Trevor MIA on Sunday and how it's affected the line and the Lions. That's coming up on XL Primetime on a golf club of Southampton Wednesday.
Cruising with XL Prime Time in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Being an athlete means having a healthy desire to do as much as you can with your body for as long as you can. Gatorade has lower sugar, electrolyte-backed hydration options to keep you rehydrated and replenished. Gatorade, for every athlete.
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Life, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Most goals we set for ourselves have a clear path, like I want to go see the Oregon coast. So you read a couple reviews and talk to some friends and save some money. You book it and maybe a couple choices along the way. But overall, it's a clear choice to reach your goal. Now, If your goal is to lose 40 or 50 pounds, where's the clear path? You read reviews, you talk with a few friends and try something out, then it doesn't work and you're disappointed. And we've all been there, and it blows. But stop trying that and do what I did. Reach your goal with Awaken 180 weight loss. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. No guesswork, no trial and error, no medication side effects. I'm proof I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and you can too. Trust me, it was simple. And one you'd never hear used with weight loss programs, unless that is you're referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear path to success with the solution for success. Awaken 180 weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
Now, the Hurricane Report. Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Miami's string of close games finally caught up with them in Atlanta on Saturday against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech wins 28-23 against the Hurricanes. A putrid Miami rushing defense gave up 271 yards on the ground. The Hurricanes still control their own destiny in the ACC. A bye week up next for the Canes. The Hurricane Report brought to you by Performance Painting.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping first-time homebuyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time homebuyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time homebuyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time homebuyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time homebuyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time homebuyer benefits around, period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. That's 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
When mice and rats show up in your space, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents, and they'll keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so do we. Don't live with a rodent problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 13th, 1985, baseball pitcher Dwight Gooden becomes the youngest player to be awarded the Cy Young Award and the Pitcher of the Year award.
Do the Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
It's the time of year all our customers love. At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
It's a force that can't be contained, propelled by purpose, pride, and the power to protect. When winning isn't just the mission, it's your passion. You pursue it.
You make power plays.
Aim for fences and go for end zones. You believe that your moment is now. At Farrah & Farrah, we deliver game day energy 24/7.
If you've been injured, put our force to work for you. Jacksonville.
The holidays are around the corner, and the last thing you want is a septic emergency. Call Duck Duck Rooter and schedule your septic tank pump out or full system inspection. 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barry here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barry Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarryOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barry Orthopedics.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Getting the football to Jaguars rookie sensation Brian Thomas Jr. has been a hot-button topic among Jaguars fans. Jags head coach Doug Peterson was asked this morning how the team can get their first-round pick open on the field.
You know, you can put them in stacks, bunches. You can move them around the formation a little bit, do some things that way. The only downside to it is the offense has to be stationary at the snap, so defense can still move and get lined up as well. So do the best we can to move them around the formation, on Brian to obviously, know that he's going to be doubled at times, and he's just going to have to work to, get himself free.
Doug Peterson this morning. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Here's a bold fact. Brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
All right, we love Bold City Brewery. You can definitely check them out, especially when you're enjoying Hump Day. You can go there, and you can head to the production house. They're right there on Roselle Street in Riverside, and you can enjoy the great kitchen along with the great craft. They always got something going on. And then anytime you're downtown, head to Bold City downtown. They are right there on Bay Street. Real easy to find. Wednesday special, we got the slider baskets, trivia, and BOGO wine. Make sure you check it out. All right, now, I may double up with you guys today with one more a little bit later on in the NFL, but I got to give this one out because this was an Ozzy special, okay? 10-10 Ozzy. Wanted to throw this y'all's way as far as a bold fact. Now, Matt just mentioned that you could have a 3-score loser in Indiana to Ohio State and still get in, right? Am I right?
Yeah, I think so.
21 points. You said if it's 38-17, they still could get in. That's a 3-score loser. Well, Georgia lost 28-10, 18-point loss, and they're kicked to the curb. They got the first strength of schedule ranking in America right now, and they're kicked to the curb after losing their second game in an 18-point loss. Granted, Indiana's unbeaten, Georgia is not. Name the largest loss in the regular season before this one on Saturday to Ole Miss. The largest loss in the regular season under Kirby Smart for the Georgia Bulldogs. How far back do you have to go? And who
Under
was it
Kirby?
against? Under Kirby.
Well, the largest. It's
I'm
got to
giving
be
that away. We're not going back before Kirby. It's not pre-Kirby.
The lost more than 18 is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, in other words, you had an 18-point loss to Ole Miss. What was the biggest loss before that in the regular season? And it is under
Does
Kirby.
the SEC championship game count? Because it's LSU.
No, it does not. That's why
So
I said regular season.
Well, yes, that's the regular season.
It is not the regular season.
All right, let me guess. 2020 against Florida.
No, but it's just so funny. It's all salty. Leon,
it's got to be Georgia. It's got to be Alabama. It's got to be a 17-point loss to Alabama.
I was going to say, is the SEC championship game regular season or not? Of
course it is. That's regular season.
It's not part of your regular season.
That's the postseason,
Let's just
bro.
make that clear.
Bro, the postseason's the bowl with a playoff. That's the postseason.
Oh, come on. We do not need to get down. You know.
How do you decide a champion during the regular season, right?
Not everyone is
conference champion.
Not everyone, you can go in any sport. Not every
conference has a championship game.
Right. Not every schedule for every team has a championship
Every
game.
college football FBS conference has a championship game, okay?
Can we just get past this? When was the
No, because you
last-
guys are wrong. You're both wrong. I don't know what to tell you. That's the regular season.
Okay, does Florida have a regular season SEC championship game on their schedule?
No, because they're not playing in it. If they did, it would.
Does South Carolina? Does
Joe,
Vandy?
You're playing to get to that game.
I know that.
The postseason is the bowl game or the playoff. That's the postseason.
You know what? You need to take it up with your other college brethren because that is not the regular season.
No, they'll all back me, by the way.
That's why it's called Championship Saturday. Can I just get to this?
You
Leon?
sound like the guy on the text line saying, I don't know what annihilate means with Texas. When,
Yeah.
You know, Georgia was up 23-0 and Texas had 60 yards, all right?
Yeah.
That's annihilation.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right. He always wants to try and hijack the question. I do.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing now Alabama 17.
Okay, Alabama 17, Leon.
Alabama, you saying Alabama 17?
Yeah.
I can't think of that many times Georgia lost in the regular season, to be quite honest with you.
No, I think Florida was even worse than 17. Was it? What was it? 40-something to...
I'm just going to
it's
give it
gotta
to
be
you.
Florida.
I have no idea.
Look at the
I have no
smile on
idea.
his
I have
face.
no
It's
idea.
got to be Florida.
It's not Florida. Listen, everything does not come back to Florida with me. Please don't mistake me for
Was it
other
South
Gators in
Carolina?
this building.
That's South Carolina,
No.
Georgia?
No, it is the exact same team that they did lose to in the championship game in 2019 to LSU, but it was back in 2018 against LSU.
All right, so I was right. It is LSU 2019. Don't give him that. Don't give him that, RJ. He's not right. It's a bad question.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was not correct.
Well, you could say a non-SEC championship game, then it's a correct question.
It's a regular season loss.
Yeah, it's not.
That's what it is. My goodness.
I mean,
It
I
doesn't
don't
need to
tell you
be
you're wrong.
It does not need to be this hard. Okay. There are some people in the building that make things this hard. It does not need to be this hard. Okay. At all. All right. Now, speaking of hard, a Trevorless team facing the Detroit Lions. Is this team going up against the eventual Super Bowl champion, Leon? Are we looking at that good of a football team that fought
No,
back from
I wouldn't say Super Bowl champions as long as Patrick Mahomes is still playing. I won't say Super Bowl champions, but I say they've got a good outside chance of making the Super Bowl the way they've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
They're the best team in the NFC for sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely the best team in the NFC. Yeah, they're going to mud stomp this team. Absolutely. Yeah, they're going to show them on both sides of the ball. They're going to show them what toughness is because they beat you up on both sides of the ball. Their offensive line is elite. Their defensive line is elite. Their players elite. So this team is going to they're going to wake up to a rude awakening come Sunday.
So let me just throw this out there, okay? Mm-hmm. So Trevor's missing this week. He's still hurt, right? It's been decided. So they lose, and they go to what, 2-9, right? 2-9. That's what they'll be, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And then Trevor comes back and he's healthy, and they play the Texans at home, Titans on the road, the Jets at home, Vegas on the road, Titans at home, Colts on the road. Is there any doubt they're going to go like on a little run?
Well, yeah, against the teams they're facing, yeah.
And then they're going to go from the one pick in the draft to 8 or 9.
But I'll just be the first I won't be the first to say this. I will smartly say this. You don't need to suck to get in line for the number one pick again. Start winning some damn football games, okay? I honestly, I do not want the notion that you need to go ahead and tank all these. Now, if Trevor gets shut down, the results may be different.
Maybe 2-15 anyway.
Right. They may be that bad. They already are that bad of a football team. But, yeah, the bottom half of the schedule, the way it does play out, you can feel better about yourself. You can poke your chest out.
They're going to win a few of those games.
If you beat the Titans twice or whatever. But I do not want to suck to get to the top of the draft. They've done that. Yeah. They've tried that. They have not succeeded with that.
Yeah. Well, listen, I was talking to you in a production meeting about the difference between this year and last year. Like last year, we had to fight to keep Trevor off the field because we were 8-3.
Yeah.
And we was trying to win football games. And
this year, I'm going to stay over here.
Some cookies with that milk. That's all I'm saying is that you have a tendency when you're winning, you want to get back there on the field. You want to help your team, help them win football games and all that kind of stuff. People's like, Trevor was playing hurt, shouldn't be out there and all that kind of stuff. This year, not so much.
Yeah.
Trevor's like, I could take a game or two off. Shoulder.
And look.
That wing, it's a little salty.
Now, we're going to have the question, is it more important for a guy's future when he does feel like it's in danger to shut it down?
Yeah.
Or play through whatever, because this is a pain threshold thing as much as it is an injury. And people are going to do that. They're going to question him, right or wrong, but they are going to take shots at it.
Trevor's also looking at the dynamics of that offensive line. Mm-hmm. That Walker and Hands together. Let me give Ezra Cleveland
scary.
an extra week to get healthy.
Yeah.
You see, you don't believe these conversations are being said. They're being said.
I agree with you, man.
Yes, absolutely. They're being said in that locker room, in that training room.
Yeah.
The coach is like, man, we're not putting you out there with them two.
And look, I feel for a guy that played through multiple injuries last year to try and get his team to a win, and none of it worked. We all know that. And I would be cautious because we have said it in a number of different ways throughout the course of this season, is that Trevor, he has something to do with the problems here. He is not off the hook at all, making that very clear. But he has not been dealt a very good hand right now. He is not. The general manager has let him down in terms of making sure that he fortified the offensive line, and I'm certainly willing to admit that. I thought they would be better than they are. They are not. Game plan-wise, I thought they would be better than they are. They are not. And so he's been dealt a bad hand. And there's got to be people in his ear that are going, you know what? Think seriously about what you're doing here.
Yeah, bro. I mean, collectively last week against that Minnesota Vikings 7 up front, where they had the linebackers, they struggled. The running back struggled blocking the linebackers. The offensive line struggled with the communication on who they blocking and stuff. Like, Trevor, you're not getting behind that. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would like to see him come back like one game and like beat the Texans. That would be cool.
Sure, yeah.
That'd be nice.
And if I'm just, and this is me, radio doctor, we'll have Dr. George Barry coming up in about a half hour's time, but AC sprain, it certainly limits your shoulder rotation,
right?
What you can do. It is his non-throwing shoulder, so it's not the one that he needs to be able to fire the football with. And there is a level of pain threshold that you have to deal with. And I don't know whether you can shoot it up. We'll ask him that coming up in just a bit. But
you can.
Yeah.
I've had it shot.
Yeah. And was it that AC joint?
Yeah,
okay.
I've been shot up. Yeah.
But by the way, what you are doing, totally different than what he's doing.
Well, I'm saying, of course. Yeah. I mean, we had a winning record. And I felt like me being out was going to help them. I mean, it was a big difference. They were 2-8. When I was with the Steelers, we were like 8-2.
Right.
So I didn't want to miss any games. We were making a playoff push.
Yeah,
right. I mean, I said I'd like to see him play against the Texans, but if you're 2-9, shut him down.
Yeah,
it's not even worth it.
It may be more and more likely that goes down that way.
And give him a paid vacation. He painted this picture too. You always want to get a quarterback. You know what?
I do. You're right. I do.
He had a brush in painting this picture that is 2-8 as well. So he gets a paid vacation where everybody else got to work.
He may have had a brush, but he was given some funky paint. How about that?
Yeah. Some bad colors.
You know what?
He was given, and not only that, a bad canvas, too.
You're a quarterback homer.
I am. I completely admit it.
All right. Into the 3 o'clock hour.
You just can't handle it.
It's sickening, bro.
Speaking of quarterbacks, we got playoff football right here on the First Coast coming up with big action in the playoff world that we will cover with our man Justin Barney. We will also get into the sports injury questions, including Trevor, and then college football, a bunch of it with the CFP rankings coming out last night. So hang out with us. It's XL Primetime on a Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Step into another football weekend with Pregame Friday.
You got to go up-tempo with urgency.
Absolutely. Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day.
Are we ready? Yes.
Brought to you by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Movember is Men's Health Awareness Month. So take charge of your health and vitality at Ackerman Urology in Mandarin, Middleburg, The Beaches, and World Golf Village. For prostate and urological needs, trust Ackerman Urology. AckermanUrology.com.
Florida's weather is unpredictable. Don't let the Epic Chill catch you off guard. For reliable heating services, call Epic Cool Heating and Air. Keep your home cozy all season long. Call 904-859-EPIC. 904-859-3742.
Why go big or go home when you can go epic and save at Arlington Toyota? Mia here, and right now you can lease a new 2024 Corolla LE for only $89 a month. A new 2025 Camry SE for only $129 per month. Need an SUV? Then lease a new 2024 RAV4 XLE for only $199 per month. Our friends at Arlington even have epic lease savings on trucks too. Go epic and save big at Arlington Toyota. Shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Devin Lloyd had a strong performance over the weekend against the Vikings. The teal and black linebacker recorded a game-high 16 tackles, 9 of which were solo. Number 33 was a perfect 10 while on the field for Jacksonville, and he's your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic. My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
This is Walker Little of your Jacksonville Jaguars for Kingfish Pest Control. I've been a Kingfish customer for a while now and can confirm that their service is incredible. Not only do they protect my family from pests, Kingfish's office staff is the friendliest around. They even email me a photo of the tech before arriving at my home. Kingfish Pest Control is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Be sure to enter their Swat That Kick sweepstakes for free pest control for 3 years. Go to kingfishpest.com and tell them Walker Little sent you.
Jags Hall of Famer Tony Baselli puts on his gold jacket every Monday morning at 7:20 on The Drill.
Does look good.
It's Hall of Fame Monday with Tony Baselli.
Good? It's great.
Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida on 1010XL.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Slow, and I want to talk to you today about having a grateful spirit. As we journey in life, it's so easy to take things for granted. But I want to encourage you to never get tired of thanking God for your blessings. Take time also to thank the people in your life who have and are helping you to become the person you are today. Don't go through life complaining. Go through life praising.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
The best golfing weather is upon us, and Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy your next round of golf with us. Our welcoming atmosphere and love for golf keep our friends coming back. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I just cannot say enough good things about my friends at Pella Windows and Doors. They have the highest quality products, the strongest limited warranties in the industry, and they just flat out look amazing. But don't just take my word for it. Consumer Reports still has Pella rated #1 in all 3 major window categories, so why not go with the best? Call them today or visit the Pella showroom, and be sure to ask about the latest hurricane and impact-resistant windows. That's Pella Windows and Doors on Phillips Highway, and tell them Mike sent you.
Meet Zara talking about his experience with BioTarget regenerative therapy at injury care centers.
I came to injury care centers because I'm an old football player and some of my old injuries were beginning to catch up with me. I couldn't do what I used to do without having severe pain. I felt the improvements from the BioTargeting almost immediately. Very few places would guarantee their work because, doctors, they say they're practicing medicine, so you're essentially just an experiment. The folks at Injury Care Centers offering a 100% money-back guarantee lets you know that they take your well-being very seriously.
Stop masking your pain with harmful medications. There's a better solution. BioTarget regenerative therapy has helped countless others, and it can help you too. Call 904-92-REGEN or visit gobiotarget.com today.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. The Tennessee Volunteers offense has averaged 37.5 points per game so far this season. The Bulls, coming fresh off a win and looking to make their case for the SEC championship game, turn their focus to another SEC foe, the Georgia Bulldogs. Bulldogs head coach Kirby Smart spoke on the preparation for Tennessee and what makes replicating their offense so difficult.
We had high tempo, good speed out there today, good looks from the scout teams. I appreciated the way the scout teams worked and looked, but it was good. I mean, I thought it was spirited. It was nice and cool out there. So they got a good football team. They're hard to simulate. That's the hardest thing is simulating what they do, especially their offense and their defense, vertical strike, knockback. They're very different in terms of how they play.
It's 77 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's hit the high school football scene on XL Primetime. Brought to you by Gatorade Water. All-day hydration for today's top athletes. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie.
We do love the high school scene when it comes to Friday Night Lights, and it took a little while to get here because of all the weather challenges. They gave an extra week of regular season football to the high schoolers out there this past week so they could get the job done. We say thanks to Gatorade. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie, and you can definitely pick up that app and download it for savings. But Gatorade Water, bringing you high school football along with I-9 Sports, our buddies over there with great things going on. Winter and spring registration going on right now at I-9 Sports. We figure this is a great time to dial the phone of one Justin Barney.
Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line. Hello. We can wiggle it.
He of Channel 4 Sports covering the high school scene has been really his mainstay for a long time, doing plenty more than that, aren't you, Jay Barn? You're busy, high school, college, pro, it doesn't stop.
It doesn't matter, Josie. It's whatever's going on, we cover it. But I tend to gravitate toward high school. I've been doing it for a long time, and I love this time of the season probably more than any other except opening week. So it's exciting come playoff time.
Yeah, we figured we would dial your phone to make sure that we're clear here with stuff that's gone on because they did give them that extra week. But now we have playoff football. So set up a couple of the big ball games because Reigns is easily a great story having run the table. They got a big ball game as they start off their playoff run.
Yeah. I think they run through their region. Of course, after last year we had Metro Suburban. Now we're back to everybody's in the same bracket. So we are back to the 1A through 7A system as well as the rural division. And Reigns, one of the great stories out of North Florida this year, 9-0, first unbeaten regular season since all the way back for Welton Coffee in 1997. And oh, by the way, they just happened to win their first state championship that year, too, so no pressure for Donovan Maslin and company. They got Panama City Bay coming to the Graveyard on Friday night at 6:30, one of a few games in town, one of 28 teams, local teams, who have qualified for the state playoffs out of our region, so a pretty good representation from North Florida. Reigns is a number one seed. Nice is a number one seed. Of course, the Panthers' first undefeated season since 2006. That was the year after Tim Tebow left and led Nice to a state championship in 2005. So great year this season for Colin Drafts in that Nice program. They have a number one seed. They are home on Friday night against Gonzales Tate. And then St. Augustine, one seed. They're at home against Columbia on Friday night in the 1-4A playoffs. And Providence, a number one seed, but they are actually on the road at Ocala Trinity Catholic. So a lot of good teams in the area, a lot of great games on Friday night, a lot of local rematches coming up in week one of the playoffs too.
Justin, explain for everyone the dynamics of the first round games. I mean, you were talking about Bay coming to Lee. Pensacola Pine Forest is going to play at Ed White. You got Gonzales Tate coming to town as well. Those are like teams that are way out there in the Panhandle coming here to play. How does that work?
Yeah, it's like almost Alabama West or something out there.
Lower Alabama.
What some of those programs feel like. So they're done by region. Every team in that region, regions are 8 teams large, and it's a wide region when you have Jacksonville teams in the same region as teams from out in Pensacola in that Panhandle. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. 8 teams in each region, and it's broken down by points. District champions automatically qualify and get that supposed to get a home first-round playoff game, but in situations like a Fleming Island or a Providence, those situations are different. Fleming Island won a district championship, but it's actually seeded lower than two teams that beat Beachside and Ponte Vedra. Those two teams play on Friday night, while Fleming Island district champ seeded number 6 has to go out and play another district champ out in Lynn Haven, Mosley, the Dolphins out there. So Fleming Island, a tough road trip, even though as a district champ. But yeah, playoff system I think still has some kinks to be worked out with these max prep ranking points. So a lot of confusion after those brackets were released on why teams were like Fleming were having to travel, or why Panhandle teams were coming over to this part of the state early on in the season.
Yeah, it really is. It feels like you were denied the fruits of your labor as far as getting the job done. And Fleming Island's a perfect example of that. The other games that we're looking at locally, Justin, we're talking with Justin Barney, Channel 4 Sports. You can log on and find all the details from high school athletics on their page, and as well at Justin Barney TV. But you got Oakleaf and Mandarin. Mandarin is a 3-loss team, but still a very, very good team, and they got that local matchup against Oakleaf.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent. It's my number one playoff game of the week. Oakleaf, the 5 seed, Mandarin, the 4 seed. These two teams met just at the end of last month for what essentially amounted to a district championship, and Mandarin won that game with a great defensive performance, and they've really had to adjust the style of their team. They had a really good offense coming in, Elite 11 quarterback in Tramel Jones. He had a leg injury in basically the second quarter of the second week of the season, lost him for the year. They've really had to adjust. Jamie French had an injury. They've lost other guys to injury. So the focus of Mandarin, they had a really good defense before. I think it was overshadowed a little bit by the offense, but they have really become a team in the likeness of that defensive side of the ball. Drake Stubbs, fantastic safety, going to Miami, player of the year for us last year. He is kind of headlining that group. So Mandarin's, I don't know if any team's identity has shifted more in one season than Mandarin's had. And Oakleaf has an identity as an offensive team, and they only scored 1 touchdown in that meeting with Mandarin in the regular season. So they've got a lot to prove. Want to show that game against Mandarin in the season was an anomaly. And this is pretty cool for Mandarin. It's the first home playoff game in over a year. Remember, they played for a state championship last year, but all 5 playoff games were on the road. So the Mustangs were road warriors last year. So the Corral on Friday night, I know the people there will be happy to have their Mustangs playing a home game in town.
Justin, what do you know about Taylor County, who was Bowles' first opponent? How did they finish their season? Did they have much damage from the hurricane, or have they been playing on the road the whole time?
They're a really good team. And Taylor County is a team that, there's country out there. And every time you deal with some of those country teams from a little out there, they play the Wakulas, the Dixie Counties, the North Florida Christians, the Blountstowns, those kind of teams. And they lost to Gadsden County, another team that's Bowles needs to worry about. And I think Taylor County is going to be a tough game for Bowles, like they are every year. And this is a team that our local squads tend to match up to at some point or another in the postseason. Just so happens that they're coming over to play Bowles in the opener, and Bowles going to keep an eye on, too, because Gadsden County playing Baldwin. Pensacola Catholic is the number 2 seed. If Bowles wins, they'd likely have to go to Pensacola Catholic next week. So it is going to be interesting. I think that Taylor County Bowles game is going to be a little bit of a tougher one for the Bulldogs.
All right, last one for you, Bradford. We know how good they are. We know how far they've gone in the postseason trying to win a state title. They've got the Villages, which is a Midland football team. They got a chance in 2A ball, do they not?
Yeah, I think Bradford is in a tough spot. They're in Region 2-2A, and I was hoping, when I talked to Jamie Rogers a few weeks ago, he was hoping that they were going to finish with that number 1 seed in the region, which they had been all year long until that last playoff ranking came out, which is another question I have. Bradford didn't even play the final week of the season and somehow got leapfrogged by Cocoa, and I think it's going to be a tough road for Bradford to even get past next week. I think they win big against the Villages, but they're looking at a possible rematch with Newberry in the second round. Newberry handed Bradford a pretty good beating in the regular season to win the district championship. And then after that, you'd be looking at a Cocoa in round 3. So a very, very difficult path for Jamie Rogers and the Tornadoes. I just question if they have the offense to kind of get through that 2A portion. Cocoa is just on another level, and Newberry's defensive line is just stacked with future college guys. So tough draw for Bradford.
Yeah, it does sound that way. That's for sure. All right, man. We appreciate it as always. We'll keep an eye on the playoff picture, including all your expertise as we go along and see how they do. And hopefully one of our teams are playing for a state championship in just a few short weeks after Thanksgiving, of course.
That's right. Take care, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. We appreciate it. At Justin Barney TV, definitely check out news4jax.com/sports. And we say thanks to I-9 Sports. They definitely have it going. They're all girls volleyball and flag at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, all girls flag at Nocatee, along with flag, soccer, t-ball, and basketball for boys and girls. And they've got winter and spring registration going on right now. i9sports.com. They help bring you the high school hit.
The XL Primetime High School Hit. Brought to you by I-9 Sports. Log on to i9sports.com and get your kid in the game.
Big Searcy, your best memory from high school ball?
My best memory in high school football?
At Evans.
At Evans High School, where we started the season 5-0. We were the number one team in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And then we lost to Apopka.
Yeah, Apopka.
Your big rival.
Our big rival, yes.
Yeah. They're savages, man.
Yeah, they've been. Yeah.
Was that Gerke against Gerke?
I was Gerke against Gerke. Yeah. And I remember the guy, the defensive tackle that went to Florida. His name was Steve Stroggins.
Right.
He played at Florida. He was a defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I lit him up, but they beat us.
I mean, of course you did. Come on.
I'll tell you if I didn't.
Right?
I'll tell you if I
That's
didn't.
what I'm saying. Of course you did.
Yeah, it honestly, the matchups and the way they've done it, and we'll find out because the FHSAA is just constantly tinkering and changing and whatnot, but they did get rid of, you basically had Suburban and Metro, and it was just a hot mess, and you had all these points, and they still factor those in, but winning district championships, you can kind of remember that part of it, and that does mean something. They're still looking at style points and strength of schedule and all that kind of stuff, but being able to be a district champion is important.
Yeah, we didn't have the opportunity. We played in the, I don't know if Matt Hayes, you remember the Rotary Bowl. You remember the Rotary Bowl?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, we didn't make it to, because we had two losses. We lost to Apopka and we lost to Winter Park.
And it was only one district team getting represented.
Yeah, so we lost to Apopka and Winter Park. So our constellation prize was that we went to the Rotary Bowl and we played Lake Howell.
Mm-hmm. You played in the Citrus Bowl. That was played in the Citrus Bowl, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Rotary Bowl,
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Look, well,
that's when it was easy, by the way. You win your district, you get to the playoff.
That part, yeah.
Right? But then you play a region, then you play section, then you go to state.
And then the population's grown so much, they had to start putting an extra seed together for each district and whatnot because because there's more schools, more people.
Money.
Yeah. Well, of course.
They're trying to make money off it is what they're trying to do.
Let's make this
Which is
clear.
fine. I don't that doesn't bother me at all.
Right, but let's make this very clear. High schools do not make money, nor does the FHSAA, hardly at all.
No, I don't disagree. All I'm telling you is it was
just the growth.
Yeah,
they had to start adding.
They make some money on it, believe me, they do.
Yeah, but they just had to start adding.
I can tell you who don't make money, the high school coaches here in Florida, which is an outrage.
Yeah, they get
outrageous.
Yeah, they get hosed.
Yeah,
They
because
really
the high school coaches in Texas, they making six figures, bro.
And Georgia.
Yeah, and Georgia. But the high school coaches here in Florida, nothing.
Yeah, they're
because I was one at one time.
Yeah, they're in the stipend world.
Stipend world.
Yeah, and it's tough, that's for sure. All right, we will get back to the Jags, back to the college football playoff reaction off of the text line in that regard that we will get to coming up. Golf Club of Southampton. Don't forget, great opportunities, membership opportunities they want you to know about. And if you're thinking about joining a club, get one that's very friendly, welcoming. You can go out there. You got this huge practice area that you can enjoy. You can get out and always have a friendly game with a bunch of other members. They got a lot of opportunities. If you join with the full paid initiation fee, they're going to give you a $1,000 discount, 500 Pro Shop credit, which you can certainly enjoy and spend. And then you can get out there and you can start enjoying the great golf course. All the details, you can check them out on Facebook at the Golf Club of Southampton. And just get on out there. 287 if you want to enjoy a great round.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Let's go, guys.
We can't wait until kickoff, so we get game day started extra early with the Terminix Kickoff Show.
This is it. Day you've been waiting for.
Presented by Clearwater Irrigation and Gatorade. 5 hours before kickoff on 1010XL.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders, and with everything that's going on the First Coast, there are a lot of people looking around going, do I want to be where I'm at? Do I want to change zip codes, neighborhoods, whatever it might be? You may not, because you like your neighbors, you like where you are, and the value of your home is going up. Well, if you want to do a remodel or an addition, you can definitely get in touch with Preferred Builders because they can help say, hey, you like where you are, let's make it just a little bit better. And it could be any type of remodel that you will add value to your home. You can check them out, preferredbuildersjacks.com, working all over the First Coast. And don't forget the roofing division. If you have a roof replacement need, get the experts, the Preferred Group. Log on, preferredroofingjacks.com.
I'm Chris Campione. In a world of big box law firms with satellite offices, there's something special about having a local legal team that cares about you and your community. We're not just lawyers, we're your neighbors. We understand the unique challenges facing the Jacksonville community because we live here too. At Campione Law, Campione Cares isn't just a tagline, it's our commitment to you. Campione Law, your trusted lawyers after an accident. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a Dandy. And do it today.
What if you could be debt-free by this January? Get rid of all that high-interest debt, pay off all your credit cards, consolidate everything into one lower payment. Hey, it's Prosper here, and if you're ready to stop stressing over bills, you need to call Loan Pronto right now. With rates at their lowest in 2 years, this is the perfect chance to use your home's equity and save big going into the new year. Loan Pronto's got rates with APRs in the low fives, and they're getting homeowners hundreds of thousands out of their home's equity. Homeowners who do this save on average $850 a month. Loan Pronto offers a ton of options, including total refis, express equity lines of credit. So call now, get a rate quote in just minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call today. You won't make a house payment till 2025. 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com or 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
In its final year, we encourage you to help create great futures for young people when you run or walk at Mackenzie's Run, Saturday, November 23rd. Join Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for a 5K and 1 mile fun run through the beautiful stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. Enjoy food, live music, face painting, family fun, and more at our Runners Village. Register at MacKenziesRun.org. Mackenzie's 5K and Fun Run, November 23rd. MacKenziesRun.org.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step up, use our promo code 1010XL, and that'll double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays, so why wait? There's a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click on the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now. Get your double deposit bonus with promo code 1010XL, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Follow the Canes as they storm the ACC.
I'm 1010XL's JJ LaSelva, and every week I'll bring you the Miami news and notes you need to know.
The Performance Painting Hurricane Report on 1010XL. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Cigar smokers, Cigars International Superstore is now open at the Town Center, a massive 6,200 square foot space with over 600 cigar brands, a full-service bar, indoor and outdoor lounges with flat-screen TVs. Grand opening event this Saturday with live music, raffles, and specials. Enjoy $5 off a $25 purchase or more. Just mention code RadioXL at checkout. Don't miss the new Cigars International Superstore grand opening at the Town Center this Saturday.
The holidays are just around the corner, and so is your entire family.
Babe, the toilet's growling at me again.
Uh-oh, the kitchen sink just turned into Old Faithful. There's no hot water!
Don't let plumbing chaos steal your holiday cheer. Call Duck Duck Rooter today to fix those issues before Aunt Linda blames you for ruining Christmas dinner. Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing pros. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Who has the best lineup this season? Honda. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, hybrids, and electric. This is one of the greatest lineups Honda has ever had. And now is the best time to purchase or lease one. Visit your local Honda dealer now. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, the Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
I'm coming in hot.
It's good to put our eyes on Gio, see him in the house.
It's looking good, man.
He's looking fresh, man.
Yeah.
Fired up and ready to go. He, in the orthopedic surgical world, it's just cool to step away every once in a while, put a microphone in front of you.
He looks like he's
talk
getting
trash,
10 hours
right?
of sleep. Look how good he looks.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fired up and ready to go. All right, listen, if you have a sports injury question, fellowship trained under the renowned Dr. James Andrews and part of Bari Orthopedics right here in the city of Jacksonville. Grow up here. That's what I was going to say. Grew up here, so he knows all about Duval. That's for sure. 641-1010. You can throw a sports injury question Gio's way. The biggest and the most problematic for this team is Trevor is now being ruled out for the second straight game. This is way earlier, Gio, than last week when they took a long time to make that decision.
Yeah.
And it is an AC joint sprain. Is that the correct way to say it?
Yes.
Strain or sprain?
Sprain.
Okay, go ahead.
Strain is for muscles and tendons. And a
Educate
sprain.
us.
Yeah. So strain is muscle and tendon. So AC joint sprain, and I think I actually read a report that they're saying that he should just stay out for the whole year. It's a lost cause, lost season, and just don't risk it. That's not a terrible idea. What's the point of possibly injuring this even more for a season that there's no postseason anymore?
Right.
But that's obviously up to him and the team to discuss. But yeah, an AC joint, the fact that he's not out already, right, that he's questionable whether he's going to play, sounds like it's not a terrible injury. It's not like a grade 3 type injury. So at this point, we're just waiting on how does he feel and if he wants to continue on to risk hurting it even more with the season that we're having.
All right, so Baker Mayfield's his was more severe last year. Is that basically what it was?
His was dislocated. His
was completely dislocated. I didn't know.
I don't recall what he did.
I don't recall being dislocated.
So his would be we call it AC separation.
Right.
So dislocation is your shoulder joint.
Right.
The separation is your AC joint.
And Trevor has the AC separation.
Well, I don't know if he has separation. He has you can have a grade 1 where it still looks perfectly aligned. It's just it hurts, right? It's not any different on X-ray than the opposite side. Usually get opposite side X-rays on the AC joint.
But I guess your point is he could play.
Well, that's what they're making it sound like, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know his injury personally,
Right.
but they're saying that if they're saying he may or may not be out, that means he may or may not play. So what they're putting out there is there's a possibility he can play. So to me, that sounds like it's not terrible, and it's just a pain thing.
They also could be doing that because to force the Lions to prepare.
Well,
for him
the fact that they ruled him out this early,
right? But last week,
they might have been doing it
because
Big Search went through this.
Yeah, now Gio, on the flip side, while we're talking about sitting quarterbacks and giving the paid vacations, when I was in Pittsburgh, I had the same thing. Now it was on my right shoulder, the AC joint, but they shot me up, and you got to remember, as an offensive lineman, my right hand is my lead punch. So I mean, I got shot up. Now we were 8-2 at that particular time. And they didn't trust the guy behind me, so they got me shot up, and I played the game throughout the season with it. So, I mean, what's the difference between Trevor's non-throwing and my throwing punching?
They're 2-8, and you were probably 8-1 or something, right?
We're 8-2, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, to be honest, this being his throwing arm shouldn't really affect him at all, except for the fact that it's going to hurt when he gets pile drive to the ground on the left shoulder, right? But you don't, for an AC joint, I don't think it should have that much effect because they can definitely inject it to numb it up. Just to use that arm to support the ball and throw it, that's not.
But what about my pain, Doc?
I mean, you have.
Nobody took into consideration that I got to keep 320-pound men off the quarterback by hitting them with my shot.
It sounds like it's still hurting you.
Yeah, it is painful.
And I would think the Searcy punch, he needed that mobility in his shoulder versus the non-throwing shoulder.
Look, you can definitely inject it. If it's not a terrible injury like a grade 2 or 3, you can definitely inject it and go out and play. I think, who knows? I think it's something that's not terrible for him, but maybe they're choosing to be wise and not injure it more because the season is what it is.
All right, a couple questions. You guys can hit us with 1-641-1010. If you do have a question, you can hit us with that for Gio. Now, just to go back real quick, Baker's injury was back in 2022, and he had separated his shoulder once. 4 weeks later, dislocated his shoulder again. He even wrote about it. He basically said that the humerus bone that goes up into your shoulder socket, like the big bone, he was basically describing all of it. He says it basically comes up into your right socket, and it was forced way out. And so you remember him wearing that sling, and it caused such a great deal of pain. He ended up having surgery.
That was 22. That felt like last year.
Oh, yeah, he was fine last year,
Yeah, and he fractured. He said he fractured the bone, which could be a couple of things. He could fracture the glenoid, which is the socket, or you can fracture the humerus. We call that a Hill-Sachs lesion. I don't know which one he fractured because they didn't say. But then he said he couldn't lift his arm, and the
glenoid fracture was Deshaun Watson last year, which knocked him out. All right, this was a question that we got last week with one of our XL Primetime listeners. You can answer this one. Why do you get a Baker's cyst when your meniscus has a tear, and how do you fix it?
Yeah, so a Baker's cyst, a lot of times it's basically fluid that exits to the back of the knee. You have a little bursa in the back of that area, so it's a space that can fill up with fluid. And when you have a problem in your knee, like let's say a meniscus tear, your body tends to make synovial fluid when there's an injury. So that synovial fluid can track out and communicate to that bursal area, and then you get a Baker's cyst, or otherwise known as a popliteal cyst. And so that's why you get a Baker's cyst. How do you treat it? Well, you can stick a needle in a Baker's cyst and aspirate it, but it almost always comes back.
Right.
Because you're not treating the source of the problem, right? So in the end, normally you go in, fix whatever's wrong in the knee, and the Baker's cyst goes away. Sometimes it doesn't go away, and sometimes you have a Baker's cyst with no problem in the knee. In that case, when you aspirate it and it comes back, you can remove it with surgery. Not very common. Not many people like to do it. There's a lot of dangerous things back there that you have to cut around. So it's not commonly done, but it can be done.
We'll get an interesting one from the text line, okay? This guy says, I'm a tennis player. My dog jumped up, bent my index finger back, Joe. I heard it crack. It's been 3 weeks, and it feels like something right in my knuckle. Only hurts on forehands. Does not hurt unless there's contact with the ball on that side. What should I do? This is my job, FYI, he says. So this is a tennis player.
Okay. I would get an x-ray. That's the first thing I would do. Make sure there's not small. Make sure it doesn't look like Leon's hands after a couple of years. But I'd get an x-ray to make sure there's nothing broken, right? I mean, the worst thing you want to do is miss a small fracture, and now you have limited range of motion because you didn't treat it correctly. But that's the first thing I would do. If it's not broken, then we can figure it out after that. But if it's a break only has a certain amount of time before it heals, and if it heals wrong, then it's going to be much more difficult to fix.
All right, real quick, and if we miss it, we will get it on Breaking Bones Sunday morning at 7:30, but you can definitely hit us 641-1010 for Gio. This is one that I honestly can't remember if we hit this on Breaking Bones last Sunday, but this was the monkey bars x-ray that was shot to us by a prime-timer last week. Bad. And it looks awful. And it was his daughter, and he shot us a picture of the x-ray.
Yeah.
That one's tough.
That's a supracondylar fracture. So that is a fracture at the distal part of your elbow. It happens in kids more often. You can see the growth plates are still open there. And that not good, right? So there's a chance of a nerve palsy in those. And the way they fix it is they reduce it or put it back into place. And there's different ways, but you could shoot 2 or 3 pins on one side or 2 pins on one side and 1 pin from the other side through the elbow.
Right.
And you have pins sticking out that you have to keep there for a couple weeks. until it heals in. But that's called a supracondylar fracture.
Wow, that's something else. Hopefully, the daughter is okay and on the mend, because when you think of this, those kids, they take so many chances. You have no idea, and you got to worry about young George and young Michael when it comes to all the craziness. That's for sure. All right, we will have Breaking Bone Sunday morning at 7:30. You guys can hit us 641-1010 with a few more. We definitely have some that we want to get to that we missed today, but we will make sure it's either on Sunday or the next time Gio comes in. Thank you, bro.
Thanks, guys.
They can find our podcast.
Apple, Google, Spotify, or 1010XL.
Exactly. Log on there and check it out. We will keep it rolling on XL Primetime Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Imagine beautiful new windows and doors that elevate your space and keep you comfortable year-round. At Renewal by Andersen, we specialize in custom-built, energy-efficient windows and doors that are crafted to last. Right now, for a limited time, save 20% off your entire project. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation today. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. It's time to start playing and winning with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your dough roll in. Think Pat Mahomes will throw for more or less than 245.5 yards? It's just that simple. And now you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when my picks hit, I can get my money in as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there at Prize Picks. Run your game.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Frank Franzi here. This November, Nimnik Chevrolet is honoring the brave men and women who have served our country. Nimnik is proud to announce their partnership with K9s for Warriors. With every vehicle purchased, you're helping provide highly trained service dogs to military veterans and support the K9s for Warriors mission. And this month, Nimnik Chevrolet is offering $1,000 military appreciation discount on select new Chevrolet models. So who makes your purchase go further for veterans? Nobody but Nimnik. Shop online 24/7 at nimnikchevy.com. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Movember is Cancer Awareness Month, so educate yourself on the risk factors for prostate and other cancers. Take charge of your health. Many cancers are highly preventable. Trust the physicians at Ackerman Cancer Center. AckermanCancerCenter.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 13th, 1985, baseball pitcher Dwight Gooden becomes the youngest player to be awarded the Cy Young Award and the Pitcher of the Year Award.
Ready to sharpen your aim or find the perfect firearm? Come to St. Nicholas Guns and Range. With a huge selection of guns, ammo, and accessories, plus Jacksonville's best indoor range for every skill level. They've got everything you need to hit your target. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, their friendly experts will guide you every step of the way at 4630 Blanding Boulevard or online at stnickguns.com. St. Nicholas Gun and Range. Gear up, shoot a lot, shoot better.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of
Crown Royal, and that's why we've built the Crown Royal rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
Once in a lifetime savings.
No corporate jeweler does that.
Beard's Diamonds does. It's their incredible 44th anniversary sale.
Everything store-wide is on sale, up to an unbelievable 44% off at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 777-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
This is Hayes Carlion for Skylife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. Skylife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at Skylife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
RJ Saunders here, sports lovers. I recently took a tip from Frank Frangie when I needed to send flowers to my mother. Frank told me that Kuhn Flowers is the only florist he ever uses. So that's what I do now. I use Kuhn Flowers. Find them online at kuhnflowers.com.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Kansas City Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo was a guest this morning of The Drill and shared with Dan Hicken his thoughts on the Hall of Fame candidacy of Jaguars legend Tom Coughlin.
I remember looking at other coaches that have been in the Hall of Fame, and I just think he's as good, if not better, than some that are there. I mean, he's brought 2 different franchises to conference championship games, been in 2 Super Bowls and won them, and he's the ultimate leader. I mean, I think to a man, anybody that's worked for him or played for him will tell you that. And as passionate as they get. So to me, if anybody's deserving, it's got to be Tom Coughlin.
Steve Spagnuolo on The Drill. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right. Well, my takeaway is that my alma mater was showed mercy and grace yesterday. They were, absolutely. Only go to 9 from 4 to 9. But my second favorite team, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, which is the Georgia Bulldogs, were completely hosed.
The boogeyman.
The boogeyman. Haven't been the boogeyman as of late the last couple of games, but it'll be an outcry if they don't make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, those teams, 95% of those teams that are in front of them could not go through that schedule without 3 or 4 losses.
So even if they're 9-3, you think they should be in the playoff?
Yes.
Wow. All right.
And we're talking about a good team. Takeaway?
My takeaway is just, in your words, Joe, a lot of being and moaning about this playoff. But at the end of the day, it's so much better than the 14 playoff. And this is what we said would happen.
Right.
You would still get people complaining about not being in. Believe me, the 13 and 14 teams are going to be just wild crazy.
Yeah. They're going to be hot.
They're going to be very hot, okay? And that, look, that's the nature of this poll thing. It's the nature of the playoff, but you've got 8 more teams in it right now, man. Enjoy it. We're going to be playing college ball. So 2 weeks after the championship game, December 20 is the first round. We're going to be playing for another month after that. Yeah. Jan 20 is the championship game. It's like a mini NFL.
What is that stretch I think we said it earlier. I don't remember how far back we're going, but there was a 55-day stretch where there would be a football game on every night.
Yeah.
And that will take you to the 20 or 20.
Yeah, well, also because the bowl games fill in where the NFL and the playoff are not.
Yeah. It's tremendous. It really is. All right, my takeaway is that we may be seeing the next team to make it to the Super Bowl that has never made it to the Super Bowl when you face the Detroit Lions on Sunday. Very possible with as hot as they are. And we want to take Duval off of that list, but Detroit might be taking their name off of that list. They do look that good. The fact they were able to come back the way they did. But more than anything else, and we've heard from plenty of our texters that there's nothing to gain by putting Trevor back out there in harm's way. Meanwhile, you have other texters saying, oh, he's just going to take his 55 and sit on the couch. I get it. You're going to hammer if you want to hammer. If you want to be critical, what do you call him, Mr. 275?
Yeah, I-275.
I-275. And so I get it. I get it. But at the same time, this team needs a major course correction.
Yeah, think big picture, man.
You have to. They need a major course correction. It is not going well. It doesn't matter what area we're talking about for any length of time. There is not a whole hell of a lot of success going on this football team. And they need to make sure if they have anything going forward that they make him as healthy and best chance for success going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the quarterback gets exemption, but I mean, every other player on that team is going to be risking leg and limb when they play.
Mm-hmm.
I know. They can get hurt. Josh Hines Island can get hurt.
You got a lot of hate for quarterbacks, man.
No, I don't. I'm an offensive lineman. I've been protecting them half my life, so I have no hate for them. I'm just saying, everybody else out there, his leg and limb could be hurt too. You don't take that in consideration. I mean, Josh Allen got paid. Tyson Campbell got paid. I mean,
there's 9 of you offensive linemen. There's only one of him.
Yeah. And by the way, Josh Hines Allen did come back from that concussion. He played. He made sure he was back out there.
Yeah.
And so you have to give credit. You have to give credit to him. But you're just at a point when he came back. There was a lot more to play for. They haven't been able to get any of it.
Mm-hmm.
But now this late, you got to. I just feel like you kind of got to err on the side of caution.
Yeah. Well, just wrap him in bubble tape. It'll be all right.
Well, with that offensive line, I don't care what he's wrapped in. He's going to get hit.
The running backs, too, they can't pick up inside blitzes.
Yeah, Coach Campo made it very clear. There were a minimum of 2 blitzes that 4 needed to pick up and did not.
Well, one literally put a chicken wing out there.
Yeah, exactly. And so you can't have that. And that could go back. And it's a coach very frustratingly pointed out yesterday, you think they haven't been taught? Oh, they've been taught. Mm-hmm. They've been coached. It's just a matter of getting to the point where they do what they're supposed to.
Listen, those 2 blocks by that running back, those were business decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's wanting wills. What that is.
Those were business decisions. I don't care what they say.
Believe that.
You got linebackers coming downhill full speed, and they chose to do that. Nobody taught them to do anything like that.
Yeah. None of that. Like if you're Mac, like what do you say at that point, bro? Like something, anything.
Yes.
Anything to slow him down.
Thank you. That part. Jeez.
Well, it's frustrating, and I know that these people want answers, okay? They don't want excuses. They don't want anything other than dubs. They want to go out and compete, and this team has been in, what now, a half dozen one-score games, 5 points or less, but you haven't won a damn one of them.
But you got to earn the right to win in practice. Listen, the way they block those guys in the game lets me know that they do it in practice. Because the proper way to block him is to get square, get low, and put your face mask in his chest. Mm-hmm. And they not the chicken wing. Chicken wing ain't gonna get nothing done.
No, if you did it right in prep, you're doing it right on Sunday.
Absolutely
no doubt
right
about it. Yep.
Yeah. No, go ahead, because it really is. That's the part, and this is the part where I don't think we're ever really going to be able to separate.
You know who used to run with the whole knock linebackers out? Freddie T.
Mm-hmm.
Natron Means. Those kind of cats.
And you know what else? Who was the guy that as soon as he walked onto the football field in teal, he proved that he could be a guy that you could send out and start as a rookie because he could pick up blitzes.
Exactly.
Maurice Jones.
Absolutely.
Drew.
Right. I guess my thing is
right from the jump.
I don't know how those guys go to the sideline after the series and look at the quarterback, be it Mac or Trevor.
Yeah.
And knowing the effort they're given like that when they're paid to do that. That's their job. You're picking up your paycheck every Tuesday with a lot of zeros on it to do that job, not to throw a chicken wing out there.
No, and that's the part that's going to really get these guys more than anything else. And they have to realize, or I know they realize it, but there's tape. There's tape that comes along with them wherever they go. And this product right now has been poor enough where it's not going to reflect well on any of them, wherever they go. If it's to stay here, it's to get a new contract, or to go somewhere else.
Here's another thing, too, Joe. This is it's off that subject you were saying, but something you said earlier about the one-score games. The NFL's a one-score league. Everybody has one-score games.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't let Doug Peterson say that to you over and over and think, oh, yeah, okay, well, they're close.
Yeah.
Every NFL team has one-score games. That's what this league is all about.
100%.
There's parity. It was designed that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in college, I can see you saying that because it's the difference in games are ridiculous. But this is the way the NFL is set to be. It's the fourth quarter in 17-14. That's the way the NFL wants it.
Yeah, and the other thing is that you can be in a bunch of them, but you got to win some of them.
Well, the false pretense that Doug Peterson is giving everybody is that we're close. We're really, really close.
Right, when they're really not.
No, they really aren't.
But the other comment that he had earlier in the week when he said, are we making it too hard? And we understand that, we're not that far away. When you heard the playoff picture, how close they are, a 5-5 team is the 7th seed in the AFC right now. Doesn't mean it won't change and maybe become a little bit more clear a little bit further down. But Indianapolis, who you beat, is the 8th seed. They have now gone from AR to Flacco back to AR. They're trying to figure everything out, but they're still right there. They're just a game out. And then you take a look at all the other ones. Cincinnati's still hanging around. They're one game better than Jacksonville, still 2 games out. That's how it's been this year. And there have been a lot of teams that have checked themselves out, or at least you felt like they had. Miami, with the concussion to Tua, definitely hurt them. Burrow and the Bengals starting out 0-2. They played their fannies off this past week and lost. And so they're still a 3-6 football team.
4-6, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and so you have to deal with it. That's for sure, more than anything else. And you got to challenge yourself. You got to dig deep, right? Correct?
You got to. Yeah, you got to find a way to finish. Got to find a way to finish the season.
By the way, Bengals, 5 one-possession losses.
Yeah.
It's what the league is.
And the one thing you have to remember about that last game, and I always feel like if you're going to try and win a game, go for 2. When you have all the momentum, getting that 2 or 3 yards is easier than going and maybe forcing overtime and all that stuff. They might have done it a little too early with too much time left on the clock, but still, they went for it. That's why they had that extra help, because they were trying to beat the Ravens on the road on a difficult Thursday.
And guess what else they do? They get the ball to the beast.
Yeah.
They get the. Did you see what Jamar Chase did against the Ravens? You see what kind of season he's having? Yeah. The fact that they didn't give him the bag this year, oh my goodness.
Yeah, and he
might have made a mistake there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how much will he command? And he has made it very clear when he wanted that, he wanted a deal, and who could blame him? He wanted that because he's played from the minute he walked off the bus or put that hat on at the draft. He has been a baller for them.
66 catches, almost 1,000 yards right now.
Yeah.
15 yards a catch, 10 touchdowns.
All you have to do is go back to last year. Last year, when this team was 8-3 and they had a chance at the number 1 seed, just look up his stat line that night. And you know who was quarterbacking for him? Jake
Browning, yeah.
Browning.
Is he still in the league, Jake Browning?
He's just a backup. I don't know. He might be somewhere, just kind of living in it. He probably still on that squad because he had to start a handful of games down the stretch when Joe Burrow was out. But Jamar Chase did that with a backup. Meanwhile, Doug Peterson's having to answer the question here. Let's make this the 10-10 take because this is the most frustrating part more than anything.
Do you want to know what he had in that game?
Yeah.
Before you go, RJ, do you want to know what he had last year against the Jags?
It was a sick game.
Do you want to know?
138.
11 catches, 149 yards, 1 touchdown.
I tell you, he was a destroyer that night.
Now, Josie's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
Sonny's Barbecue, they've been doing it since 68, knowing what it takes to create a good meal for you. Get it in your belly fast. That's the other part of the equation. They want to cook it slow and serve it fast. So check out any one of your area Sonny's. And so I'm not saying that Brian Thomas Jr. is Jamar Chase, but we have all said it with one level of frustration or another. Get him the ball. You have stars on all these football teams that you have to find a way to get him the ball. So Doug Peterson had to answer that question. He has had productivity and targets way down over the last couple of games. If you're going to do anything down the stretch, and it may mean Mac the entire time, Mac only had 111 yards. He was barely over 50%. But try and find number 7 in the pattern and get the football to him. It is as simple as that. The only way this team is going to grow is to find guys that you draft high and you develop them into superstars. And he looks like he's got the earmarkings of a superstar. Don't waste this opportunity. Get the football to him. That's the 10-10 take. It's really the only – him and Ingram are the only two things right now that represent real, true offense on this football team right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say he and Ingram are the guys on offense right now that over anyone else, far and away. That's why I said if you're going into a team meeting, it's look, I don't care what you do with the 30 other plays. 20 plays, I want to go to those two, no matter what. No matter what.
Yeah. And we can look at the stats, and it's pretty obvious that those guys, when you look at matchup situations, you want them, I would think, up in your game plan. To basically say, if we are going to be able to move the chains, these two guys need to be on the receiving end of as many throws as we can possibly have.
By the way, Chase in that game last year, 12 targets, 11 catches.
Yeah, I'm telling you. He was a Duval destroyer last year. And I got a guy that I'm sure will remember Jake flipping Browning very well.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
Well, the embedded and shredded, he might have been embedded in a seat and was shredded at the end of that game on Monday night. Just look
what was Browning in that game? Like 24 or 25?
He threw
I just closed out of it, but it was ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Like 350 yards in that game.
Yeah, he was better than Burrow would have been.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
That was the devolving of the Duval defense.
Now I have to go back to find out.
Yeah, now you're going to find out.
I mean, I want to say his passer rating, the perfect score is 158.3. I think Browning that night came in at about a 167.9.
All right, you ready for this? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
32 of 37 for 354.
What are we doing?
So the ball
what are we doing?
Yeah,
no picks, one touch.
Yeah.
He was 32 of 37.
And 2 rushes, 22 yards, 1 touch.
What were they on third down?
He moved the
night?
chains.
I mean, do you want to hurt yourself right now?
I do.
'Cause I'll go there.
Because I'm going to guess they were 12 of 17.
Yeah.
8 of 14.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's very healthy.
Plus 1 of 2
very
fourth downs.
healthy.
1 of 2 fourth downs.
Yeah.
So cool. 9 of 16.
They got
with the money on the line.
They got their
What a
10 yards
nightmare.
on first and second down more often than not. That's
Good point.
About
They didn't need a lot of third downs.
On third and fourth down, about 65%.
All right, so if we don't know exactly what happened, but your reaction when Trevor was ruled out much earlier this week than, of course, last week.
Yeah, I think it's good long term because, my thought on if I was Shad Khan, the message would be simple. He's not playing again.
Yeah.
I mean, particularly if you lose Sunday. I mean, if you lose Sunday and you're 2-9, and this is something. Now, if the doctors are telling the Jaguars this in no way, shape, or form will ever require surgery, then that's one thing. But if this is something where surgery is actually like an option for him to take, then if they lose Sunday and they're guaranteed a losing record, and I have to assume that it's going to be a totally new system that he's learning next year anyway, it doesn't do me as a franchise any good to put him out there anymore. I mean, he'd basically be playing again. He's played enough games in the NFL that I don't think he still has to get acclimated and things like that. I mean, could there be things that he learns possibly in playing in those meaningless games? But for the most part, I would want him to be 100% healthy. The last thing you would want going into a coaching search is to not be able to look across the table at your prospect and assure him that Trevor Lawrence is going to be 100% healthy for OTAs.
I was just going to tell you.
I mean, I'd get if surgery is even remotely a possibility here, I would shut him down. I would have him have the surgery so that he is 100% ready to rock for OTAs when the new staff is here.
You know who else wants him shut down? Ben Johnson. And not for this week. He wants him shut down for when he comes here and takes the job.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, this is one of those things where you do have to start thinking more long-term. And the 2025 season begins once they lose to Detroit on Sunday. And, oh, by the way, they're a 14-point underdog. So the odds of them winning that game are remote. And so you've got to start good clubs. Look, this season's been a disaster. Don't compound it. Don't make it more of a disaster. Start prioritizing, and it's going to have to start at the ownership level because the general manager and coach are fighting for their jobs. But this is where Shad and his people need to say, all right, I do not want to see him out here on the field again if this is an injury that could potentially need surgery, because I do not want him having that surgery in late January.
All right, you guys will be covering
all of that, and we'll do our State Farm College football report, so that'll be a lot of fun talking Gators, Knowles, and Canes. So, yeah, fun Frangie show on the way.
Brother man, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hayes, France, JJ, they got it all cooking.
Maybe that's why the Kismet's parked outside. Maybe he's just saying. He's just saying. Let me make it very clear to you guys. 16 is not playing.
It is docked here. Yeah, and look, if the Stash came in and finally made that directive, that'd be great. That'd be great. We are done. The Golf Club of Southampton bringing you today's show. We appreciate them. You can definitely check out. Just go out there and enjoy a round of golf. See everything they've been working on greens-wise, and then look at that membership because it is awesome right now. Check out the Golf Club of Southampton 287 Play. Joe C, Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, and RJ. Thank y'all for listening.
You know, winners get washed.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
You guys wouldn't figure it out.